everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to show you all how to do this really easy, super simple and wearable fall makeup. This tutorial is basically what I wear to work every day of the week, and it takes less than half an hour, so if you're getting ready in a rush, this is the tutorial for you. So let's get right on into it. I'm going to start with concealer. I like to do this first so that way we can let it sit and get tacky on the face before blending it out. The point of concealer today isn't for anything full coverage, we just want to cover any red spots or dark circles, so this is why I'm doing the pattern that you see here. I'm not going to be doing any foundation, but you are more than welcome to if you would like. I just like to keep it light. Moving on to brows, I keep those simple as well because mine are pretty thick. I'm just brushing them out, but you can fill them in if you would like. Moving on to the fun part, we're going to start by using some eyeshadow. I like this Jaclyn Hill palette. I've used it for years and it works pretty well. And I'm starting with that lightest shade and putting it all over my eye. I then move on to the next darkest shade, which is that one in the middle here, and begin to keep it a lot more toned down than the other shade, putting it only on the spots of my actual eyelid and not going up and above it too much. I do blend it slightly into the crease so we have a little bit of a transition, but I'm not doing anything too crazy. I don't want this to be a huge smoky eye. Then, taking it one shade darker, I'm going to use that deep maroon shade and put it just on the outer corner, blending it up very slightly into the crease of the eye. This is where we're going to get a little bit of depth without making it a gigantic, super glam smoky eye. Just something I can wear every day. Now up to you guys, I like a little bit of glitter, so I am going to put this dark glittery shade on the inner corner of my eye, taking it to about the middle of the lid. You can also put it slightly up into the crease. And to finish off on eyeshadow, I just use this light glitter right in the inner corner to brighten up my eyes. Now that we've given it some time, we're going to start to blend out that concealer that we put on before. I'm using a thick kabuki style brush, but again, if you want to use a beauty blender or something else, go ahead. This is what works best for me and my skin. I'm trying to blend mine up and slightly down, but mainly keeping it so it's going to lift up the sharp points of my face so I can highlight my cheekbones and my jawline. In the center of the forehead, we want to spread that out as well, so that way it covers all the redness and looks a little bit brighter than the rest of my face. As you can see, just like anyone else, I do still have some weird spots after I use my makeup. Nothing is ever going to be perfect. I like to just use a little bit of Neosporin on any red spots as a spot concealer or a spot treatment, but if you have a different moisturizer or an actual one, I'd recommend using that as well. I just know I want these things to heal, so I just use a tiny dab of Neosporin and then go back over it again with that concealer brush, not adding any new concealer to the face, just trying to blend it out and keep it looking as natural as I can get it. I also would not recommend using any powder or it's going to make any dry spots pop out more. Moving on to both our blush and contour, I'm using that ColourPop stick one. I think this is the shade 25-8 if you're curious. I like to just put mine in this little clown formation here and blend everything circularly and upwards. I take a fluffier style brush for this as well, so that way everything comes out really smooth, and I like to keep it highlighted at the top of my cheekbones up to the sides of my forehead. This functions as both my blush and my contour. I think it looks a little bit more natural for an everyday sort of look. Of course, if you have a different style that you enjoy, it's not going to change the eye look at all. Just do the blush however you feel the most comfortable. I do recommend that everyone try this look with a little bit more blush. You might be surprised on how nice it looks on your skin. Sometimes the dewier your skin looks, it makes you look a little bit younger, a little bit more awake. So if you've never tried this before, I do recommend trying it at some point, even if you're not going out that day, just to see if you like it. But I digress, just follow your natural angles and do the things you normally do if you don't want to step out of your comfort zone in the realm of changing your face shape. Moving on to highlight, I'm using this absolutely destroyed Maybelline pot that I've had for years. I think I grabbed it at Walmart and broke it the day after, so it is in shambles. But it still looks really, really good. A nice natural, almost rainbowy finish to make everything pop. I always just put it on my cheekbones, below the brow bone, and then on the tips and the bridge of my nose. You can also add a little bit to your lip line if you would like, the Cupid's bow area. That's up to personal preference. I know some people don't want sparkles everywhere. Now that our face makeup is done, grab that palette again and go in with that second darkest shade, putting it directly in your eye bag, just to make things pop. Then to continue with contrast, take a white eyeliner, I'm using this pencil one from NYX, and put it all over your waterline. We're then going to move on to our eyeliner, which we're going to create in a small wing for today. I'm using that liquid e.l.f. pen, but if you would like one that actually is those drawing felt tip pens or something different, be my guest. The gist is just to follow the waterline of your eye up into a point about equal with your iris. So if you can take that point of your eyeliner to midway through the iris to the top of it, you're going to end up with a really nice parallel line, and it's going to match on both eyes as much as possible. I also think it's important to keep the bandwidth, I guess, of the actual line on your eyelid extremely small. So you don't want like a really thick line on your eyelid, you want to keep it thin the way I'm showing you here. This will make it look really natural, which is hard to do since it is black eyeliner, but it'll keep it nice and thin and it'll look a lot more professional and put together for every day. After you've taken it all over the eyelid, you want to create a small, very small point on the inner corner. I like to keep it small for a simple look, just because that tiny point kind of pulls the whole eye together. You're then just going to curl your lashes, use whatever you have. I know some people use heat, but I chose not to. Moving on to mascara, I'm just using that Essence one that everybody has from Ulta. Again, up to preference what you're using. Something with a little volumizing help will be the best for this look. I take it all over the top lashes, doing a couple coats if necessary, and then I put it on my bottom lashes as well. When putting things on your bottom lashes, because I know a lot of people don't do it, be very careful not to smudge the look underneath. The next step is simple, just put your lip balm on before your lipstick. For lipstick today, I'm taking my favorite from Juvia's Place, which is this dark brown shade. I'm thinning it out a bit so it's not as dramatic, and it'll come out to like this burgundy, very natural, lived-in, like brown undertone look. After I smear it around, I just clean it all up with a Q-tip, and then I'm done. And with that, you're done. Here's the finished look. Thank you all for watching. If this helped you, please leave a like and subscribe, and let me know if you want to see more content like this in the future. For now, I'll see you next Tuesday. Bye-bye!